everyone. Once again, now it's time for the official welcome. We're so glad that you all could come tonight to hear these wonderful four authors and what they have to say about their books and about the writing process and so forth. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Karen Dion, and I write psychological suspense that's set in Michigan's Upper Peninsula wilderness. My two big books are The Marsh King's Daughter and The Wicked Sister, and they've both, been bestsellers and won some awards and so forth. And The Marsh King's Daughter is soon to be a major motion picture starring Daisy Ridley and Ben Mendelsohn. Now, our guest for tonight, I'll do this alphabetically. We have Tasha Alexander. She's a New York Times bestselling author of the Lady Emily series, and she also wrote Elizabeth the Golden Age. The long-running Lady Emily series is firmly rooted in history, exploring the role of women in the late Victorian and early Edwardian periods. Her most recent novel is The Dark Heart of Florence, which is Lady Emily number 15. And then her newest novel, Secrets of the Nile, will publish in October. This one is going to be a brilliant homage to Agatha Christie, and Lady Emily is going to Egypt. So you can ask her more about her series in the breakout room. Then we have Sherry Thomas. She's also a USA Today bestselling author. And she writes that she decided years ago that her goal in life is to write every kind of book she enjoys reading. Very ambitious goals, Sherry. So thus far, Sherry has published romance and fantasy in young adult field, mystery, and I'm going to get this wrong, I should have asked you ahead of time, wuxia inspired duology. Did I say that right?
Wuxia, it's Chinese martial arts. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, her books regularly get starred reviews and best of the year honors from trade publications. And her newest book, Lady Sherlock number 6, is Miss Moriarty, I presume. It published last November, and you can learn a little bit more about that too in the breakout rooms. Then we have Gabriel Valjan, and he's the author of the Roma series, The Company Files, and the Shane Cleary Mysteries. He has been nominated for the Anthony, the Silver Falchion Award, and received the 2021 McCavity Award for Best Short Story. And didn't you just get a new nomination, Gabriel?
I was just nominated for the Anthony for Best Short Story in Hank's anthology this time for sure, which was about to come to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. The anthology itself was nominated as best anthology, but to have your story singled out, that's really awesome. So fantastic. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the official bio continues. Gabriel has written crime and historical fiction, horror, and poetry. He likes to weave in history and humor into his stories and have readers think about what they've experienced on the page. And Gabriel's most recent book is Hush Hush, a Shane Cleary mystery number 3, which published this past January. And I have to add, in previous backrooms, I think at least once, and I think twice, visiting authors have recommended Hush Hush, Gabriel. So that's pretty cool too, to have you here tonight. And finally, we have Heather Webb, but only last because of her last name, Webb. You're used to being last, I'm sure, in everything.
I am.
So Heather Webb is the USA Today best-selling and award-winning author of 7 historical novels. In 2015, her novel Rodin's Lover was a Goodreads top pick. And in 2018, Last Christmas in Paris won the Women's Fiction Writers Association Star Award. And Meet Me in Monaco was selected as a finalist for the 2020 Goldsboro RNA Award in the UK. And her solo novel now, her newest one, The Next Ship Home, published just this February. So congratulations. It's only been out for just a few months. And it's inspired by true events and reveals the dark secrets of Ellis Island as 2 unlikely friends challenge a corrupt system, altering their fate and the lives of the immigrants that come after them. So it sounds really wonderful. So thank you all for being here tonight. We could go on and on about your accomplishments, but we're going to have a little fun first. And so this is the part of the program where we ask our authors questions. we call it 20 questions, but it's really 20-ish questions because we would be here too long if we went through 20 questions. However, we do have official backroom cards, with the questions printed on them. So I know from having been a guest at the backroom, the authors are a little nervous because they don't know what the questions are going to be, but they're fun and easy. And I'm going to ask them in the order that I see you all on my screen. So Gabriel, you're up first.
Okay.
And this is the first question. What was your favorite book as a child?
E.B. White's Charlotte's Web.
You're not the first author who've mentioned that. Do you remember?
I think it has a great opening sentence for a crime fiction. Where's father going with that axe?
Yes. Yes. Do you remember how old you were when you read it?
I would probably say 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So
I really enjoyed it.
That's fantastic. And I comments in the chat are saying so sad. Yes.
Yes.
It is. All right, Heather, we're going to move on to you. What was the title of the first thing you ever wrote?
Something to do with a peanut butter sandwich and my sister, because she loved peanut butter. And I think I was 7 and she was 4. And that's all I remember. And it was unearthed recently as my mom was cleaning out some of her cabinets, and she sent me screenshots, and I thought, how did that make it through? But yeah, something with a peanut butter sandwich. That's all I can say.
That's fun.
Heather, when I was about 7, I wrote something called The End Piece of Bread. That's riveting, but maybe, they should be together, your peanut butter and my bread.
I'm on board with that. Absolutely.
Thank you. So Tasha, what's the first thing you do when you get an idea for a book?
Thank God that I got an idea for a book. Yeah, really that. And after that, I really just sort of try to let it have its own life. I try not to think about it actively. I try to let it just simmer in the back of my brain, lest I scare it away. I feel like you have to sort of let it marinate a little before you start really thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, if this was a breakout room, I would ask additional questions, because it's so interesting. How do you know it's going to work and things like that? So that's something that we can perhaps follow up on later. For now, Sherry, here's your first question. What's one thing about writing and publishing that you had to learn the hard way?
Only one, Sherry. Only one.
Okay. That just because somebody bought your first book doesn't mean you actually have learned how to write. Uh-huh. Because that book could have been accidentally good. That was the hardest thing I had to learn.
Yeah. So you have to work at each book, right? It doesn't just magically happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Now a little more personal questions. Gabe, what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Scuba diving. I would say that was the most adventurous, and I ended up going to become a advanced wreck diver. So being inside a ship was actually quite scary but challenging. But that was the most adventurous.
It sounds terrifying, actually. So
there's also in Gloucester the Chester Pollock, which sunk I think in the 70s. Was like a oil ship or something. So it's about 75 feet down.
And then is the water cold there?
Yes.
We're not talking Caribbean, a beautiful reef, are we?
No, it's dark. It's cold.
Okay. That's adventurous for sure. Now, Heather, we would like to know, do you have any hidden talents?
Besides cooking, I'm a great cook, but I don't know if that's hidden because I post pictures all the time on social media. I love to cook. It's for me, it's another way to express my creative side without having to use my brain so intensely. And I can kind of escape the world and sort of, I'm in this different sensory kind of mode, which I love, the color and the smells and all the tastes and stuff. So, I don't know if it's hidden, but yeah, that's talent, I'd say, for sure.
I'll be over as soon as we All right, Tasha, what's the best thing that happened to you today?
best thing that happened to me today? Seeing your face, Karen. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. We've known each other for decades. We shared a room at VoucherCon in 2005, right?
Yep, we did. Yep.
Yeah, you never know where you're going to end up when you're in the author world, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Sherry, what's one skill that you would love to master?
I think I would have loved to be able to play an instrument really well. That way, you know, I can have music whenever I wanted, and I can have whatever music I want.
Yeah, that would be nice. So you don't play any instrument at all?
I studied piano for a couple of years when I was little. Then once it got to the minor scales, I was like, I'm out of here. I was like, this is not only not fun, this doesn't even sound like music anymore.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. Now, before we go into the breakout rooms, each author has brought us a book recommendation tonight, because Hank and my goal is to make sure that everybody's to be read piles just keeps growing and growing and growing, because, you know, there's just not enough books otherwise, right? So we'll start with Gabriel. What book did you read recently that you think everyone should read?
So I'm hoping everybody can see this. I know I have a screen filter behind me. There we go. So the book is The Secrets We Share by Edwin Hill. This had come out end of March, Kensington. And the reason I'm recommending this is because people may know Edwin for the Hester Thursby series, but this is a new breakaway, and I really admire a writer that takes chances and does something different, and Edwin did do that. This is a very twisty, kind of a thriller with an unreliable element to it. It's just a lot of fun. It's a page turner, and I think people will enjoy it and see a different side of Edwin's talents. So that's my recommendation.
Sounds fantastic. I've read Edwin's series, so I'm going to definitely check out his new one. Sounds great. How about you, Heather? What book are you recommending tonight?
So I don't have the book. Oh, you have it up there. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis was a Goodreads, Good Morning America pick, but it's got humor, but it's very got some tender moments, and it's about a female scientist in the 1960s, a chemist who keeps running up against sexism in various ways, and she desperately just wants to work on abiogenesis, which is this, you know, the study of life, and make some discoveries, and there's all kinds of stuff happening. Anyway, I love this book. It's my favorite of 2022 so far. Highly, highly recommend it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Tasha, what are you recommending tonight?
I am recommending Lost Summers of Newport by Beatrice Williams, Karen White, and Lauren Willig. Now, these guys, Team W, as they call themselves, everything they write is just fantastically wonderful. And in this one, you've got 3 timelines, a Gilded Age mansion in Newport, and 3 of the best historical fiction writers on the planet. So I would say get thee to a store and get this immediately. I just tore through it. It only came out maybe in the last, I don't know, a couple of weeks, probably. Week. Yeah. And it's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you for that recommendation. And how about you, Sherry? What book are you recommending tonight?
I am recommending Jane Unlimited by Kristen Cashore. Kristen Cashore is more famous for her Graceling series. She's a young adult writer, and this is one of the, I don't want to say the strangest, because when it comes to talking about books, I don't necessarily think strange is a good word. This is one of the most original, most unusual, most unexpected book. It's sort of a pick your own adventure book. This is the only time it's ever happened to me that a book will have me going like, I'm not sure. And at the end you go, yes, yes, yes.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed this taste of what a backroom event is like. The best part comes immediately after, when the audience is divided into 4 breakout rooms and the authors visit each room in turn. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because these relaxed face-to-face conversations between authors and readers are the hallmark of our backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded. What's said in the back room stays in the back room.